Having a clear objective sounds obvious, but in today's digital world, there are just so many different ways to get distracted. You log into Google and it gives you your optimization score, and you go, well, gee, I better do a better job of this, or it tells you to put more assets in, and you'll get a 4% or 4 times better something, and so on. And the temptation to want to do that is really high. When I think about alignment, I like to think about the OKR system that I'm a huge fan of. And I first, big tech companies use it, Google use it, Microsoft, and LinkedIn, as a matter of fact. If you've ever launched a LinkedIn campaign, it'll ask you to set an objective, and then when it estimates the traffic, it'll show you the key results down below. So the OKR system is about defining objectives, defining the measurable key results. They're usually time-bound, and they're usually objective measures. Then you can, when you've defined those two, then you can look at the tasks that you need to do that will deliver those key results and eventually close off that objective. So most CEOs that I've met, at least, their objective is to grow revenue, usually, and their business. They want to grow revenue, they want to cut costs. That's how you make money in business, right? So it's pretty normal for a CEO to say, I want 25% increase in revenue, I want customer acquisition to grow by X. And generally these numbers, at least in my experience, numbers that CEOs talk about that align to their business plan or their growth model or their forecast or the tools that they use in order to measure their success. So along comes the marketing team. The OKR system works really well when it cascades from the key objectives of the board of directors, shareholders, CEO, and then of course to the marketing team. The marketing team might say, okay, customer acquisition and revenue growth, that's something we can work on. And then they define a whole bunch of key results of how to measure the success of that. And then along comes, the ad team, or in some cases it's an external agency. They set up a Pmax campaign, and that's where it can get really confusing. What do you want this Pmax campaign to do? Because when you log into Google, it wants you to do everything. It wants you to have the whole growth journey. It wants you to, build brand awareness. It wants you to be there for every single touch point. Pmax wants you to be there at every part of the customer journey, but that costs money. And you're bound to the budget that you have, and you're also restricted by the target you're given. So if you've got to drive revenue, 25% increase in revenue, generally speaking, if you do your maths correctly, there's going to be a ROAS target that you're going to have to hit in order to get that number, right? So if your goal is to drive ROAS each month for your e-commerce campaign, the settings in that Pmax campaign must reflect that objective.